All right, the Hatch Act, Hans, is the left incorrect or correct about Secretary of State Pompeo's appearance from Jerusalem?
They are totally wrong about it. The Office of Special Counsel, which is the office that investigates Hatch Act violations, actually lays out the rules on its website. It's very clear. And what it restricts is you can't use your government position, you can't use government resources, and you can't do fundraising. But everything else, from giving political speeches to making your own political contribution, that kind of political activity is perfectly acceptable under the law. So they're just wrong about this.
Well, it would have to be acceptable, or else it would be a violation of a constitutional right, your right to free speech. You can't restrict that under those terms. Pompeo was in Jerusalem on an official government trip. That's the detail that the liberals are focusing on. He wasn't called Secretary Pompeo, though. He was called the Honorable Mike Pompeo, and he referred to having a, quote, big job, but then he made a joke and said it was as a father and as a husband. He did not refer to his secretary title or his job in any way. What about that detail, the fact that he was in Jerusalem on official business? Does that change in regards to how the Hatch Act is applied?
No, because he wasn't using any government facilities or government resources to do that discussion. So again, they're just wrong about this, and I think they're trying to make political hay out of this for people who really don't understand the Hatch Act. But the claims they're making legally are just totally wrong.
Okay, and then the second part of this, and I'm glad we're breaking this down, because conspiracy theories, which this is essentially what it is, it's a conspiracy theory, people latch onto very easily if it's in line with their political views, and I want people to know the truth. The other part of the two-pronged accusation, the first part was about Secretary of State Pompeo. The second part was about the fact that the First Lady spoke from the White House, the President's going to speak from the White House, the Vice President spoke from the White House. Is this a violation of the Hatch Act to use? That's official federal government property to conduct political business.
Well, if you look at the Hatch Act, you will very specifically see an exception for the president and vice president. And that's because from a constitutional standpoint, Congress cannot limit the activity of the president and the vice president. So once again, that is not a violation of the Hatch Act.
And in regards to the First Lady, I believe the Office of the Special Counsel said that there are certain areas of the White House where federal employees are not prohibited from engaging in political activity, the West Lawn and the Rose Garden being two such places. And I believe that's where the First Lady gave her speech.
No, that's exactly right. Plus, she's not an employee of the federal government. She is the First Lady, which is an honorary position, of course, but she's not an official employee of the federal government. So the Hatch Act wouldn't even apply to her personally.